Welcome everybody to our new moon reading, first new moon of the new year, on January 11th, yes, 111. And the main questions we'll discuss today are, what are you letting go of? What are you taking out of the equation to make it equal a larger sum, better opportunities, better for the future? So what new are you bringing, or what old are you leaving? You need both a negative and a positive in order for a battery to start. It doesn't just start on a positive. That's why I say, like, heaven needs hell, hell needs heaven. It's all about moderation, I think, of the temperance. And right after temperance is the devil. What are you chained to? What's chained to you? What thoughts, beliefs, patterns, habits must be changed? This year, I made a lot of changes. A whole lifestyle change. I went from getting fucked up every day to this. And now I'm able to put my time in relationships and other people and myself and my children to you guys, my YouTube channel. Once you get rid of something, you have space for something else. And that's awesome. That's what we want. We want to bring in this newness. We want to get rid of the old. This new moon in Capricorn begins at 6:58 a.m. This moon has a positive aspect with Uranus. There might be a lot of surprise changes or surprise goals. A lot of surprises. Venus is still in retrograde, so we might be going back to old relationships or old love, tying up those loose ends, untying the ropes that bind you. So what ropes had you bind it this year that you broke or that you broke free from? You can comment or send me a private message. I'd love to hear. Yeah, let's deal your cards. Alright, this is for the collective. So, this reminds me of the one heaven or hell reading I did. You can't have one without the other, and how these roots are always rooted to the spirit. This is being detached from your emotions. And that's where victory is coming. I see we cry it out or let go of these stored traumas, and that's where the victory is. There's a large emphasis on this passion, and it's like gifts come from your passion. So what gifts are you receiving from your passions, or how can you tie in your passions with receiving? This is shining the light on all of your negative experiences. I see like 10 major things. And out of them 10 major things, what 4 things still stick? Where do you find victory from these losses? It's like we've gained something from the loss. Perhaps you lost a key. I see it's near an Egyptian picture of a woman, or possibly a woman has it. So I see like the scythe. And the pain is pointing at the stubbornness. What are you being stubborn about that's creating this kind of pain? And the star is still in reverse, so it's like, what false beliefs make you worry? What do you think that's not real, that's got you having anxiety? We have to connect to the spirit and have hope. Perhaps this is heartache, and it reminds me of an even balance with passion and faith. What are your 3 main virtues? 3 main rules that you live by, or 3 main sayings, 3 main things that you don't tolerate, 3 main things like your boundaries. And this is Jupiter in Capricorn, so this is when freedom comes from setting boundaries. And I see this Capricorn energy, possibly Aries, but Venus in Aries in reverse is like, I am what I love. What are 10 things you love about yourself? And right now is not a time to make any major decisions. And if we do make any decisions, we don't want to make them from an emotional standpoint. We want to have total logic. We have the science here. I hear an object in motion stays in motion. And this is Mercury and Aquarius. So this is like speaking to the collective. Communicating a large group of people. Or maybe you have to tell your story. Or explain your losses. Like I said, I brushed over some of the shit I've been through. And I know that, what did they say? The more put together on the outside you are, the more fucked up you are on the inside. So I'm glad, because I'm like all fucked up on the outside. So it must be mean that I'm doing good on the inside, which I am doing the best that I can right about now. This is Mars and Jupiter, like fiery luck. And perhaps we need to take that into account when speaking to the collective. For you, Aries, old and new, new and old. A new idea takes you to a new work. Feeling what everyone else is feeling, like putting yourself in their shoes, pretending you're them for a day. It's gonna give you some kind of balance or some kind of togetherness. I see a lot of antlers too, and you have the devil in reverse with the Prince of Wands. So it's like letting go of this stubbornness. What drives you? And this is good too, because it's leading you away from the devil. Like the truth is out. This addiction or whatever has you chained is no longer there, and we're more focused on the collective. And that's what we have to do here. You're leading the pack, you're a leader in some way, and if you're not, you have to stand up and be the leader. Perhaps you got a new job, or you're starting to learn these new religions, or starting to learn something new. But yeah, these lies that you are living by, or maybe somebody told you like something was covered up, the ground you were walking on was faulty. That rug has been lifted up from under you, and it is sudden, but it's leading you to this new job or to this new journey. We're not going to be able to complete this journey or whatever you're working on until we gain the right ingredients. Baking or making or coming up with this, whatever it is. And this is like, we're lacking the ingredients, or perhaps we're putting the wrong thing in. And I see this as our emotions. Like it's like we're letting our emotion take over on our logic. And this is almost like we gotta burn it somehow. And we have to open our, like this, open up our heart chakra or something to that sort. It's like opening up our hearts to loving rules and adjustments, and like loving these adjustments, this balance. And this is putting your emotion into it, or detaching your emotion. The Queen of Swords, she has somebody's head. It's like she got this truth from the ancient, or from God, from the angels, from the source, something. And it's like you have to share this truth with the collective so that the stress is less. It's communicating with the collective so the stress is less. And there's some kind of separation. Perhaps this has to do with Pisces. This is a choice that we're failing to make about our action on passion. Now you have all the right ingredients, you have everything, and you really are focused on this moderation. Perhaps we're into music or some kind of art. But this is putting our emotion and our passion together to be thankful for this separation. It's like, is this stagnant? Whatever it was stagnant and it wasn't needed. It had to go. So I'm glad you are moving on from that. Yeah, there's a lot of like cobwebs. Maybe we need to clean, or like go into the shadowy parts of ourselves that we don't access, or that we don't go into much. It's an area that doesn't get used. So you're lying to yourself about this choice or about this lack of choice. What do you have in common with the trees? It's like, do you stand firm? Do you hold your ground? Are you rooted? Are you grounded? What happened when you were 10? Where were you when you were 10? When it comes to your emotions and you're speaking of truth, or did someone lie to you? Were you misled? It's Jupiter and Saturn in reverse. This is like freedom comes with creating these boundaries. I see you writing all these lines, like drawing all these lines, and you don't cross that line, you don't cross this line, you don't go past here, you don't go past here. And you have all of these gifts or talents, or you have all of this to share with the world. You have to let that out. We have to be honest with ourselves about this choice that we're making. Know that we have everything that we need. Because if you're not making this choice, if you don't act on it now, it's like you're going to lose something. Perhaps a job, a lot of money, a major opportunity. So, Gemini, I see you blowing bubbles.
According to a study published in the Journal of Brain and Cognition, Japanese researchers found that chewing gum leads to increased blood flow in the brain.
It is possible due to a process named mastication-induced arousal. It activates your brain, waking it up and allowing it to perform better than usual. It helps you focus on the task at hand. It improves your mood as well. That is because it increases the heart rate and cortisol levels in the body. Chewing gum can help increase alertness and attention. It affects all age groups equally to enhance the mind's activeness.
And what does blowing bubbles have something to do with this? So what do you have to do with blowing bubbles? And I see a pee or something coming out of the vagina. I know it's weird, but that's what I see. And this hemisync, it's like it's not in sync. And perhaps that's why we're losing. Maybe it's like a detox of some sort. It's something hidden that comes to light, and it makes you not want to spring toward the future. So something about chewing gum, blowing bubbles, self-love. Love yourself. It's like you stand at this door where the creation begins. It's like where the endings end and where the beginnings begin. It's like the embolic. It's the beginning of spring. Alright, Cancer. Yeah, so there's some kind of interference, but I see this fire and earth. So it's like something that has been here for a long time has got to go. It's like you gotta burn it. Because we're not syncing with the emotions, and perhaps this has something to do with sex or like a lie. There's victory. There's victory in controlling your emotions and keeping this like right here. Like you don't want it to go over here. You want to like control it. You want to control your emotions. Virgo. I see. The way through the door is through your emotions. You need to sacrifice something, or perhaps we're drawing from the spirit. We need to reach for faith at this time. You're reaching for faith because we have our mind connected to this thing that's all tangled up. And it's like in order for it to be in a straight line and not tangled up anymore, we have to have faith from the spirit. It's like the only thing that's going to take us away from this. Seeing this from another point of view, this is like being honest and truthful, and this is, I see like blinds or something. Maybe clean your blinds, or I don't know what that has to do with it, but it's like a square, like a grid, like that grid, like each square. I don't know what this is. Perhaps you know. Virgo. You know when you like color all them squares, and like each square colored together makes like a whole picture. It's like, what picture are you creating? And you need to color in some squares to form this other square. what are squares? It's like 4 corners. So it's like we go through a line and then we have a straight corner and then we go straight and then a straight corner, and it's like in order to complete that square we have to go through these 4 sharp corners, and we don't want to go around them. So this is taking a break, Libra. Virgo needs rest too. It's like go, 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 go and not stop. But this is drawing passion from our experiences. And this is like steamrolling over our passions and our desires. Success is gonna come if you stick with it. It's like you have to stay with it, the same thing over and over again. This is being true to your emotions. Being true to how you feel, expressing how you feel, and being honest about how you feel to other people. And that's going to help you control these emotions. In case we turn upside down, it's like we're on this transformation tree. Cancer possibly has something to do with it. This is like filling your cup back up with love. Like in order to love someone else, you have to love yourself. So you're like filling your cup up. Yeah, your emotions, when they're controlled, then there's less interference. So this is like controlling our emotions. So perhaps we have to come up with like a set plan, or this is like something steady, the same thing, the same time, every day. And that will make the world of difference. Alright, I see that shuffleboard game, maybe bowling, doing something you love. So we have lust in reverse, and this is being grateful for self-love. This is like you're actually able to touch and hold something that comes from this truth. There's a hidden truth, perhaps a lot of snakes in the ground or in the grass, and it's like blocking the truth, or maybe they're bringing the truth, they're helping you receive the truth. But this is Leo energy. Yeah, you are getting this energy or this like force, you're gaining this fiery passion from something on the ground, or I don't know if you're making something out of your happiness. Perhaps it is art, but this is like total control over these lies, these snakes. It's like you put them at a distance. You got them on a leash, something like that. But this is in full control, that even though they're here like in your ear yapping or something, it's like you still have control over it. And it's because you are grateful. You do count your blessings. And that you should keep on doing, Sagittarius. Alright, Capricorn. So strife comes with, don't try to steal anything or take any shortcuts, run any red lights, or anything of the sort, because it's like you're gonna get caught. Try to do all the right things, because it's like this energy, especially out in public, you're gonna get caught. And we don't want to go to jail, or we don't want to get in trouble. If you tell a lie, someone's going to know. So make sure you're honest. Make sure you do everything the right thing. Make your rules and stick by them, because this is something with authority and of these lies or this negativity. We want to make sure we're honest with ourselves and know that you have a baby in heaven or something. That's always with you. Okay. Aquarius. Holy shit, Aquarius. You got a lot to say. Alright, so and there is disappointment. There's disappointment with maybe you're having a hard time sleeping. You are gaining. You gain from this lack of success. So it's like you don't succeed, but you gain. It's like that thing. Marcus Aurelius said, what is failure but triumph? The brightness of days. So it's like the only way you're gonna win is if you lose. And it's gonna take like a long time. It's just being true to your virtues, your values, and not to be so cruel, or being cautious around cruel people or something of that, because it's like this in your emotions, these three things: compassion, love, and patience. And we're definitely going to need patience. We have this 8, so we're taking a break, whether we're on vacation or something. It's Aquarius. So yeah, maybe we're on a vacation, but we want to make sure also that we are not being cruel to anyone else, because this is very like a fiery energy, and there's a lot of swords here. So this is perhaps you're even being cruel in your thoughts, and even if you don't say it, it still goes out into the Akashic records. So this is like, and I also see you using everything you have to make something else, instead of like going outside and buying something new. Like go outside and get like a stick or something like that. Like you use your resources. You have many resources that aren't being used that need to be used. You're gonna need them, so make sure not to rest on your laurels. Alright, Pisces, we're dealing with some sorrow because of this change. But we won over the disappointment. So this disappointment, you won over the disappointment. It's like you topped off that with the truth. Like somehow this truth came out, and it made you see a situation for what it really was. And it's like, okay, you lined it all up now. It's 4, 4, 4, 4. And then this change leads to sorrow. But there's gifts in Capricorn, so maybe this new moon is definitely going to affect you, Pisces. It's affecting the cardinal signs a little more, like Aries, Capricorn, Cancer. This change, it does bring gifts, but it's like you feel some sort of sorrow, and maybe it's because you don't have help, or you think you don't have help. Perhaps you have to ask or allow someone to help you. It's like you're taking all this on all by yourself, and you have help above you, below you, next to you, right with you. This energy is going to take a while. Like this is not something that happens overnight. And this is controlling your emotions too. And this is being responsible for, you have the Emperor in the reverse. So the Emperor in reverse is like not responsible for his actions. He's not following the rules, or he's going against what he believes in, or going against himself. So this is you standing by yourself and knowing that this wheel is always turning, and once you get to the bottom, there's always a top. You don't want to think these destructive thoughts, because then it brings the wheel down. Each thought is bringing this wheel more down, and it's like a chance of fate, and it's like God and reason are the same. Like even chance is dependent on nature. So everything's dependent on something else, like everything's connected. We need a little bit of this negative, or this little bit of destruction, in order to create it whole. It's like heaven needs hell and hell needs heaven. So this is creating an equal balance between the two, because there could be these sudden thoughts or this sudden passion or action that creates like an interference, or even if it's in the background, it's like maybe you have to cause some kind of destruction in order for this structure to be like sturdy again. And then there's the tower. So yeah, there's this some kind of sudden change, and we have to remember to be responsible. Everything that happens to us is happening because of something we either did to us or we did to somebody else. That's why we want to be nice, and we don't want to be like indulging in too much food, too much drink. We want to let go of these things, and if we are indulging in something, like even if it's a good thing, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So that's why there has to be like an even amount. Like, yeah, there's a destruction, but there's got to be this reconstruction afterwards. There's got to be an even balance in order for it to be evened out. Alright, thank you everyone. Happy New Year, and if you have yet to look at your monthly readings, they're all posted for the month of January, and like I said in the beginning, like they all have something to do with letting go and creating this new thing out of this space, out of the void space. Talked about the void of course moon. I think it was Scorpio talked about the void of course moon. Maybe you can look at Scorpio's reading to find more about the void of course moon, because there's certain things you want to do and certain things that you don't want to do on this void of course moon. So yeah, thank you so very much. Mine is a 2030. Love you.